The S23 Ultra. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 7 months since this phone has been out. I've been using it, I've been hammering it, and as you can see, there's no case on the phone. I took it off. I've been naked for like a whole month. In this video, we're gonna talk about exactly how this experience has been over the past 7 months. I'm not gonna talk about tech specs or any of that garbage. We're gonna talk about two main things. First of all, experience, how it's been like over the past 7 months, what's changed, what hasn't, what's been disappointing, and what's been phenomenal. But we're also going to talk about updates, and especially One UI 6 has brought a lot of new changes to the phone, and we're going to talk about how that enhances or maybe it de-enhances your experience, all in this video. Now, usually in videos like this, I like to start off talking about the body, how the body has been over the past 7 months, but I'm not going to do that right now. We're going to start off with the battery because I think that's probably the most important and something that stood out to me the most. Over the past like 7 months and even up till like just this week, this thing can last me 2 days. So as you can see, it's on 100% because I just fully charged it. And by the way, if you want to know where I get my wallpapers, I custom make them. I've got them down in the link description below just in case you're interested. But back to the battery. This phone lasts me 2 days, no problem. And that's not 2 days where I'm just kind of half using it. I'm talking, I'm going to college and I'm using it throughout my day in college, which starts at like 9 a.m. and ends at 3 or 4. And then after that, I have 2 hours, which I'm basically spending on Zoom or on calls or maybe in person in a meeting. But I'm using my phone a lot, whether it's to take down notes or anything like that. And finally, there's an hour drive home, which I have Google Maps running, I have YouTube running. And when I get home, obviously we're doing entertainment, we're watching things, we're enjoying anime, we're enjoying different kind of content. And even after all of that's happening, I still have enough juice left over where I don't need to charge it overnight and I can still spend another day comfortably. But
shit.
Oh, what the fuck? It's not all fun and games because this phone does get quite warm. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I've used the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I've also used the Z Flip 5, which we talk about on this channel. So if you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button because it really helps grow a small channel like this one. And you continue to get the latest updates on the newest phones, the best gadget, and the latest tech. And by the way, if you like this video, smash the like button. If you dislike this video, smash the dislike button. And let me know in the comment section below how I can improve. I read all feedback. It really helps me out. Okay, so back to heating issues because I want to link this with battery because I do think it goes hand in hand. This heats up quite a bit, and the usage that I just talked about is like my daily usage. It's like normal usage. It's what everyone who's buying a beast of a phone like this is probably going to do with it. But if you're going to start gaming, which you absolutely can, and have perfect performance, the best performance a phone can offer. But if you are gaming, or if you're spending the day taking photos, like, you know, you're a creator, you're going out in the city and you're taking a lot of videos and photos and you're using your phone for that, which you absolutely can, you are gonna feel it in your hands. Literally, it's going to be a brick. It gets extremely warm. So that's just something to note. Have I noticed any change in the heat over the past 7 months? No. So what that means is it's as hot as it got day one. So it hasn't been like struggling any more or any less than it was in the first month. So it's been pretty consistent, but at the same time, it does heat up quite a bit. Okay, now let's talk about this gorgeous display. It is absolutely one of the greatest displays of any smartphone in 2023. There's no competition, ladies and gentlemen. But obviously it's not all fun and games here. It's been 7 months. Something had to go down, and it absolutely has. Ladies and gentlemen, I have scratches on my screen. Now it'll literally be impossible for you to see them. To capture them on camera might be absolutely impossible. But ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about major scratches. We're not talking about major damage. We're talking about micro scratches, and this is not new. It happened with my S22 Ultra as well. These phones with their gigantic screens, one of the drawbacks of a curved display is that you can't really get a tempered glass screen protector. I mean, there are brands that make them like Casetify and other Spigen brand, but those are absolute, in my opinion, because I've used them on this channel and I've showed them off as well. They're garbage. Tempered glass screen protectors for curved displays are just not there yet. The technology isn't there. So I choose to go without a screen protector, and obviously this has racked up a bunch of micro scratches. Now, micro scratches aren't like anything that are impairing the function. They're also not hurting the experience. Like when the phone is on and the display is running, I am never going to notice them. Plus, if I'm watching anything like anime or if I'm filming on my phone, I'm not gonna notice micro scratches. But when the phone is off like this, that's when you do notice, like absolutely. And a micro scratch is basically tons of really, really microscopic scratches that are all over the display of the phone. Again, they're not deep, they're not like going through the glass or anything like that, but they're there, they're on the surface, and you can see them, especially under lighting like this. It's only been a month, but I've still been using that. And phones like the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which I used for almost a whole year, those phones didn't really show up with micro scratches the way the S23 Ultra has, so something to think about. Okay, now that we've talked about the display, let's finally start talking about the body of the device. How has it fared over the 7 months? Well, to be honest, like there's no case. I took the case off because I'm like, I'm not dropping this. It's a big device, it's a heavy device. It does at times, you know, you have it on your lap while you're driving. Obviously, I'm not on my phone. I mean, obviously, I'm not on my phone. It's just in my lap for some reason. But sometimes it slides around, right? It slides under the seat, it's gone, and you're like, you know, reaching around the seat, trying to grab your phone and bring it out. The usual. It's gone through the usual sort of abuse, but there is no sign of any damage. First of all, on the back, this back is absolutely pristine. It's in perfect condition. There's not even micro scratches on this glass back as well. Like, it might just be this bright white color, but I haven't noticed any kind of micro scratching on this, and it still looks really, really good. And the same can be said about the cameras. Now, this is just repetition at this point, but these cameras all around them, they're dirt magnets. Like, these cameras are grabbing. If you guys actually see it, that'd be absolutely beautiful. But there is actually a ton of grime and just absolutely disgusting stuff all around the camera bumps. It happens if you have a case on it or not. So, you know, that's just a thing. But the camera bumps themselves, no damage whatsoever. They're in perfect condition, and this is again no case, and the phone literally sits on the camera bumps, like it's sitting like that. Obviously it wobbles. This wobble, by the way, never impacted my daily usage. I never really cared about it. The only real damage that I've seen on this phone is on these bezels. I hated these bezels the moment I took the phone out of the box. I talked about it in that video, and it kind of has stood the test of time because these bezels are the only part of the phone that are actually getting scratched up. It's with the case on, I had scratches, and even after taking the case off, I have scratches. Like, the scratches haven't gone anywhere. So this bezel is just pretty trash quality in my opinion. And don't worry, I have the S Pen right here, so it's not in there. But yeah, the bezels I absolutely hate. I hate the way they feel. They feel super cheap. That hasn't gone away over the 7 months, but it's only actually gotten worse. And if you watch my 3 month later update, just for you guys only, the S Pen still smells like copper. So it has a smell. Okay, so that's around the device. We got all the physical stuff out of the way. Let's talk about function. And the first thing is data and Wi-Fi. Now, why would you even bring up data and Wi-Fi? Isn't that something a phone is supposed to do? You're absolutely right. But phones in the past, like my Z Flip 4, had issues with that. My Z Flip 4, I would have it on Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi would time out every minute. So after 1 minute, the Wi-Fi would just time out without any connection, and then it would automatically just time in, go for a minute, and time out again. This was something I documented on this channel, but no such issues with data and Wi-Fi on the S23 Ultra. This is even after I've traveled through like international usage. So I've traveled to Canada, I've traveled across the seas, and I've had no issues. Part of that is because of my data carrier, but also the phone does play a role. It's not all about the data carrier, but this phone has done a really good job over the past month of being consistent, of being reliable, and something I can fall back on just in case, you know, I might be in Bulgaria, you know, looking for some Danish chocolates. I need Google Maps for that. You can't be in Bulgaria without Google Maps. You know, you can't be in like Bolivia without Uber Eats going. You know what I mean? Like, you need the connection, and this phone has been consistent. So we're missing the connectivity issues that are kind of a Samsung thing, but there's also one more thing we're missing that's also a Samsung thing. I'm talking about Samsung bugs. We used to get them on the S22 Ultra. I showed them off on this channel. When I first bought my S22 Ultra, I literally opened it up, showed you guys YouTube, and YouTube crashed right on camera. those, you know, those crashes, those burns, the app stoppage, that happens. That's a Samsung thing. It's not an S23 Ultra thing. It hasn't happened. 7 months in, it may have happened once, and I can't think about it. I only bring things up where they're like significant, like it's like, oh yeah, this is happening enough where I need to talk about it in my review. But bug crashes and app crashes or anything like that has not happened. You know what? You want to know something? I miss Samsung bugs now. We can all relate. All of us can relate. It'd be 12 a.m. It'd be a school night, school tomorrow, and you'd be in bed under your covers watching Attack on Titan. You're watching or some other sketchy anime, whatever, you know, the culture you're part of, what I don't know. But you'd be watching that, and for some reason Bluetooth would disconnect. And now whatever you were watching has been played at the dead of night, and you're under your covers awaiting imminent death as your parents walk through the door. And finally, the last thing on this list, ladies and gentlemen, that was one take. One UI 6. Now there's a lot of like micro updates that One UI 6 is bringing, but there's a few that I want to talk about here that I'm especially excited about, and some that I have been able to try on the beta and I actually really liked, and I think I'm going to incorporate them into my daily usage. First, the camera app. Ladies and gentlemen, I love using the camera on this phone. This is hands down the best camera you can have on a phone in 2023. iPhone 15 does not get close to this, okay? I don't care what they say. I don't care. This is the best camera on a phone, and that's coupled with one of the best interfaces to actually edit directly on your phone. Plus you have this. How the hell is an iPhone going to get close to an S23? It can't, okay? But aside from all of that, One UI 6 is bringing small things like being able to quickly toggle between different resolutions and different aspect ratios, and that's important, especially for a content creator who's, you know, might be shooting for a Instagram story or an Instagram post, which is a whole different aspect ratio, and then might want to go back to an Instagram story, or then might want to go vertical for, you know, YouTube or something like that. That's important. Also, there's a new quick settings which looks a lot better, and there's new widgets, so you can get new widgets on the quick settings and on your home screen with a lot less Samsung bloatware, which like it's just cleaning up an Android system but also adding things that we asked for. That's amazing. That's exactly what you want with an update. But most importantly, these updates, this One UI 6 that's coming out, and that's come out for some people, the most important thing it does, for me at least, is it keeps this phone fresh. And I know it's only been 7 months. Like 7 months isn't a long time, but it's long enough for some people to get bored of a phone, especially people like me who are going through a lot of phones anyways just to get these reviews up. But with One UI 6, this phone still feels very fresh. It feels new. It feels alive. Like it's not dating at all. It still feels like one of the best, hands down, unquestionable, the best phone of 2023. That if someone came to me and they were like, hey, I want the best phone right now, the best phone that's available, what would you recommend? There's no competition. This is what I would recommend without a doubt. Now, if someone asked me for what's the most fun phone, it would be the Flip or the Fold, but probably the Flip, because if I'm gonna recommend one phone to everybody that's fun, the Flip, and that video is coming up, by the way. But yeah, kind of getting back to S23 Ultra, this thing is an absolute beast. Over the past 7 months, I've gone to chemistry labs and I've needed something to do like quick jot down notes or a quick formula. I've done it on this. I've gotten hydrochloric acid on my phone. I've gotten acetylferrocene on my phone. It's gone through all of those things and it's stayed super functional. I'm sorry guys, it's literally 2:37 a.m. You gotta forgive me for my slurred speech at this point. If you're thinking about buying this phone 7 months later, it's on a deal, you're getting a good sale, I would say absolutely go for it. Don't think about it. This phone is going to last you quite a while. There's no, you know, scientific gimmicks here. This is a very solid device. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please again smash that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Also hit the like button if you like this video, hit the dislike if you dislike it, and let me know in the comment section below how I can improve. Until next time, take it easy. Peace.